Today, we're diving into that gut-wrenching moment from The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2, Joel's death. Yeah, it's the scene we've all been dreading. And now it's here. We've got a lot to unpack. Let's get into it. It's Ash from SuperVideos, so first off, let's talk about how the show handled Joel's death compared to the game. In the game, it was a brutal, sudden blow to the head with a golf club. In the show, they changed it up. Abby shoots Joel in the knee, beats him, and then delivers the final blow by stabbing him in the neck with the broken handle of the golf club. It's less graphic, but arguably more emotional, focusing on the characters' reactions rather than the gore. I actually think this was a good change. It differentiated the scene from similar ones in other shows, like Negan's infamous kill in The Walking Dead with his barbed wire bat, Lucille. By altering the method, the show avoids direct comparisons and stands on its own. Now, about Abby's monologue, the show gives her more dialogue to explain her motivations, which is a departure from the game's more subtle approach. While I appreciate the attempt to humanize her, it felt a bit overdone. It reminded me of classic villain intros where the antagonist lays out their entire backstory. It made the scene feel more like a TV trope than the raw, ambiguous moment we got in the game. Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie was powerful, but there were moments where it didn't fully land for me. In the game, Ellie is desperate, trying to reach Joel, fighting against her restraints with everything she has. In the show, that intensity was somewhat muted. Also, the physicality of her being kicked and held back was more convincing in the game, making her helpless more palpable. Speaking of physicality, in the game, Abby is portrayed as incredibly muscular, which makes her overpowering Joel more believable. In the show, while Caitlin Dever delivers a strong performance, the physical dominance required for that scene felt a bit forced. It was a challenge to fully buy into her overpowering Joel in that way. One addition I did appreciate was Ellie crawling to Joel's body after his death. It was a heartbreaking moment that added depth to her grief. This wasn't in the game, but it helped convey the emotional weight of the scene. And as the showrunners put it, Ellie thought that she was also going to die. She was prepared, fully prepared to die, and she wanted to die next to Joel, which I think is definitely very powerful and has even more layers compared to the game. But the decision to show Joel's body being brought back to Jackson was a strong one, the strongest change they made. It provided closure and emphasized the impact of his death on the community. This wasn't depicted in the game, but it added a layer of realism and gravity to the aftermath. I loved the inclusion of Through the Valley, sung by Ashley Johnson, the original voice of Ellie in the game. It was a beautiful tribute that tied the show back to its roots. The song underscored the emotional tone of the episode and was a nice Easter egg for fans. Replacing Dina with Tommy in the scene where Joel dies worked in the context of the show. However, it did highlight the limited development of Tommy and Joel's relationship on screen. In the game, their bond is more fleshed out. Not as much as many fans wanted it to, but it is definitely more fleshed out. So the impact of Tommy's reaction is more profound. But I understand the constraints of adapting a game to a TV format, especially because they wanted to utilize Tommy for something much cooler and more action-oriented in this episode. So I understand why they made the decision to have Tommy be in Jackson and for that story to go down the way it did with the Horde and the Bloater, and for Dina, Ellie, and Joel to deal with what they dealt with Abby's crew. From the previews, it looks like the next episode will delve into the aftermath of Joel's death, not just by Ellie, and Tommy and Dina, but everyone back at Jackson. We see Tommy's reaction and Ellie visiting Joel's grave, which mirrors Abby visiting her father's grave in the opening minutes of the Season 2 premiere. This parallel sets up an exploration of grief and revenge from both perspectives. Overall, while there were some changes from the game that I questioned, the show did a commendable job of adapting a pivotal and emotional moment. It balanced staying true to the source material with making necessary adjustments for the television format. I'm looking forward to seeing how the story unfolds from here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Did the scene hit you as hard as it did in the game? How did you feel about the changes? And what do you think is gonna change going forward with the changes that have already been made? I know lots of people have done this, but I've also done a comparison between the game and the show as a short video. You can go check it out if you're interested. I'll leave a link in the description. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time for another super video.